We are starting to see how solar can be the backbone of sustainable societies that can both survive and prosper in the face of climate change. Because of its innate pro-social characteristics, it can also be the standard bearer for the humanizing of capitalism that Pope Francis and other religious leaders are calling on to help alleviate poverty and avoid environmental apocalypse. As Kenyans, it's not our turn to eat. It's our turn to make a difference. Projects like this solar carport here at Garden City, Kenya's most sustainable mall, are living proof that we can make a positive difference to the planet and also provide a commercially viable solution for businesses' energy needs. The Garden City carport is a total of 858 kilowatts, the largest solar plant in Nairobi and the largest solar carport in Africa, consisting of 3,364 panels. They provide enough weather protection to cover over 450 cars. Over 50 local jobs were created during the build, and the project had a unique collaboration of British, Chinese, Indian, and Kenyan suppliers and contractors. To put the size of this carport in context, it will produce enough clean energy to power 550 middle-income urban homes in Nairobi. One of the many things that makes solar an attractive power solution is the time to assemble. Once the carport structures were in place, it took just a couple of weeks to install all the panels. If you want quick and sustainable energy generation for your business, solar is the right solution. And the technology is proven the world over, leading many credible organizations such as the International Energy Agency to make bold predictions about solar's future on planet Earth. In the next 35 years, solar energy could be the top source of electricity. This solar carport is the combined effort of 3 companies. The owner of the mall, Actis, deserves special credit for his pioneering green approach to this shopping mall. Of course, the key to a successful project is the finance, and Solar Century is pleased to be working with Solar Africa, an innovative financing company whose platform enables solar projects to move from design on paper to reality. Finally, it's key to have a reliable technical partner on board, especially with a breakthrough project such as this solar carport that we see here today. Solar Century was chosen to design, procure, and install the solar carport system. Solar Century was born out of an ideology that we can fight climate change by encouraging the widespread adoption of solar to help reduce carbon emissions. This ideology is as relevant today as when the company was founded 17 years ago. And to date, we've installed over 500 megawatts of solar worldwide. We're one of the oldest solar companies globally and pioneered early-stage solar development in Europe. We've installed solar on a greater variety of roofs than any other company on the planet. We have a footprint that now spreads 3 continents and is staffed by over 250 committed solar enthusiasts. We opened our office in 2013, and since then we've designed and built the largest solar plant in Kenya, the 1 megawatt solar plant for Williamson Tea's Changoi farm, as well as the second largest solar plant in Kenya, which you see before us.
The project is significant because, as the way we see it, it's able to demonstrate that both commerciality and sustainability can go hand in hand. And besides all of the technical statistics that you've heard from Guy, the project is also very unique for the African continent because it's a third-party privately financed system between 2 private parties. There weren't any donor funding involved. There wasn't necessarily any grants or subsidies involved. This project was built on economics. And I think that says something that's quite significant about where renewable energy, and in particular solar, is today. We at Solar Africa strongly believe in the role that capital can play in the mass adoption of solar. With the right models, private capital can be an extremely important catalyst for the mainstream adoption of solar. Equally important are tangible projects done with forward-thinking companies like Garden City, and that certainly helps us put the theory of our models into practice. I think Actis needs to be commended for their commitment to lead by example when it comes to sustainability. There are many features of the mall, not only the solar system, that can attest to that, and we're extremely proud to have them as a partner on the project. Thanks must also go to our technical partners, Solar Century, the various facets of Actis that we worked with, Mentor Management, Aspire, the professional service firms through which we engaged, and of course our investors on the project as well. What we're witnessing all over the world and now in Kenya as well is the private sector are beginning to invest in what we often call the renewable energy revolution. This is really about traditional energy consumers playing a bigger and a bigger part in producing their own energy. And in most cases, this is happening with solar. This energy revolution is clearly touching Africa, and it's exciting to see that in many ways Kenya is leading the way in commercial solar adoption. Solar Africa is positioning itself as a significant player in this space, and particularly for Africa. What we do as a business is connect the parties that are necessary to make a project like this happen. The end user being, in this case, Garden City, the technical contractors being Solar Sentry, and financing. We do this under a standardized business model which allows us to scale and to attract projects, because individually these projects are certainly often quite hard to finance, but in aggregate we can attract private financing for them. On that note, I think it's an important point to note that we've just closed a $25 million fund that would be exclusively investing in rooftop solar in the region. This was done in collaboration with our investment partners, Cross Boundary Energy, and we'd be deploying this capital over the next 12 months. We're already seeing that this flagship project has assisted us in getting many of our project partners across the line and committing to additional projects. And hopefully a project like this can convince other private firms that they can play a part in joining this renewable energy revolution. I think many of us, and it's been said today already, that we're aware of the success that Kenya has had in the mobile telecom space, and it's exciting to see that Kenya is also playing quite a key role in what can arguably be sort of seen as a second technical revolution in this adoption of solar energy. We look forward to playing our part in getting Kenya to show the world that it is possible to grow your economy with a very low carbon footprint.
So this is one good example of a project which we could do in some of those off-grid areas and reduce the consumption of fuel, because most of the off-grid areas are currently supplied with what we call diesel-fueled standalone generators. And of course, it means both the logistics of taking diesel there and the cost of diesel itself is a big cost to our customers. And if we could reduce that cost by complementing the diesel generators with the solar or wind, it makes a huge difference in terms of reducing the bills to our customers. So this is again a demonstration of a project that could be done in those areas, off-grid areas, and transform the lives of various villages that are very far off from the grid. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, this is a demonstration, a manifestation of a project that can transform lives of our people. I have been championing the discussion of renewable energy and other energy sources for Africa as a continent. I do know that at the moment, most of our rural folks rely on biomass. That's almost about 70%. For their lighting and also for cooking, it is biomass. For heating water, it's biomass. This is one of the energy sources that could go a long way in reducing emissions. If we can be able to get cost-effective energy services, we should replace the biomass in order to save the health of our people. Most of these biomass fires are spread all over in various homes. They are very close to the people who use them, and therefore they breathe a lot of emissions. And it is very necessary that we use these innovative methods like solar to do some of the lighting. I have seen several innovative techniques which use solar to do lighting, to charge mobile phones, to provide security lights. And these are very, very important initiatives. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and God bless you. There you go. There you go. There you go. The cake is cut and the solar carport is launched. Can we clap? Well done, well done. Well done, congratulations.
Thank you.
Solar Sanctuary, Solar Africa, congratulations.